Cool. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to my channel. Today, I want to discuss with you all some good news. So today is April 1st. No, this is not an April Fool's joke, but applications to become a flight attendant have opened up today at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. So the application window is open right now. So if you are thinking about applying to be a flight attendant, I highly encourage you to go check out the JetBlue website. After I'm done doing this live feed, I'm going to update the notes section down below, and I'll put the link down there for you guys to check out. And if you want, go ahead, throw an application in there. But I figured I made a list of pros and cons of being a flight attendant. And so I got 6 pros and 6 cons of being a flight attendant. I'm going to go through those right now with you guys. This is kind of like an update because I'm on my 1-year mark right now as a flight attendant. So I figured, why not update you guys as much as I can. So to start off, pros, obviously travel is huge. And another really cool thing I didn't know before I became a flight attendant was that you don't only get to just travel on your airline for free, you get to travel on other airlines as well. So you're not just stuck to the airline that you work for. Now, obviously, if you go international, you get to pay the fees for international fees, and those vary. For instance, Shanley and I, we took a trip to Barbados in September. I think round trip tickets were going for like $1,000, but Shanley and I ended up paying $50 round trip to Barbados. Can't beat that. Another pro would be that it's not a Monday to Friday job. So if you are that person that works Monday to Friday and you work 8 to 5 and it's something that you don't like, personally, I don't like that whole Monday to Friday type work life either. This is a job for you because it's an ever-changing schedule. You have different trips each month. It's not like you go to the same cubicle every day, you see the same people. It's different crew, different trips, and you have the flexibility of working as much as you want or as little as you want. And that's why I love the job. So you can work on side hobbies. That's what I'm doing. A third pro would be to, like I said, you get to work with different crews each trip. And not only that, you can actually bid for certain people. So say you really like working with a certain group of people, you can bid from their employee number for the next month's schedule to work with those people. For instance, Shanley and I, we bid for each other. So next month we actually have like 2 or 3 trips together, which is pretty awesome. It's also a pro and a con because sometimes you might be working with a crew that you don't like and you might be stuck with them for 2 days, 3 days, or 4 days. So it's a pro and con in a sense that way when working with different crews. Let's do 3 cons and then I'll go back to the pros. A con, one of the biggest cons that I didn't like about this is that you aren't paid in full for every hour during your work period. It's only pay for your flight time. So last week, for instance, we started the day at like 11:50 p.m. and we ended up finishing the day at like 12:30 a.m. So in between that like 12, 13 hour-ish window, we only got paid for the flight time, and flight time in total was 9 hours. So you miss out on a lot of money during that time. But I think the pros of the travel, the flexibility of scheduling outweigh that. And I'm hoping at some point they kind of fix that because it goes back to like the railroad laws, and that's why that's the way we're paid. Another con would be you might be stuck in a crash pad in a city that you don't like while in reserve. Personally, I didn't have to deal with that, but I have friends that have been in crash pads and been in cities that they don't like. And yeah, so that could be a reality for you guys. Luckily, my parents live here in Boston, so they let me stay here and save up some money to move out next year. Another con would be some people don't like changing schedules. Some people like to have that Monday to Friday schedule. So a con could be the ever-changing schedule. Nothing is set in stone. And this comes down to even having a trip. So you could have a trip where you're scheduled to fly 2 legs that day, but they can modify your trip mid-pairing and say, hey, you're doing a 3rd leg and you're not laying over in X city. And that's kind of what happened to me last week, where I was supposed to lay over in Palm Beach, but they ended up adding another leg for part of my crew. So then we had to fly from Palm Beach to Newark, and we ended up staying in Newark, which has nothing to do with Newark. So it was kind of annoying. As you work and as time goes, you begin to learn the schedule and how things work out. So that's 3 pros, 3 cons. Let's go back to the pros. Another pro would be the flexible scheduling. Like I said, you can work as many trips as you want, and you can work as little as you want. But the one thing is, you can't work less than 70 hours for that month. So you can work 70 at a minimum, or you can work up to 140 hours. So you can literally work as much or as little as you want. And if you don't want a trip, you could literally, like 2 or 3 hours before that trip, you could drop that trip. Obviously, I'll do if the reserve grid is good in the green, you can literally drop that trip 2 hours before the trip. So I don't know any other job where you can 2 hours before going to work being like, hey, I don't think I'm going to go to work today. Drop, you know? So like I said, the flexibility is awesome. Number 5 for pro would be on layovers, you get to explore the city. So obviously that's a no-brainer. Most people don't know this, but you don't have to pay for your hotels. Some trips we get vouchers at hotels. We get transportation from the airport to the hotel as well. So it's really what you make of it. Most people, if it's a short layover, you prefer to just rest. But if you're in a cool city, I highly encourage you to do some research, find one thing that you want to do in that city, and just do it. And you'll be happy you explored a little bit. You also get some places you get the free continental breakfast. Some have the buffets, and JetBlue comps that, which is pretty sweet. And lastly, let's do con number 6 or pro number 6 would be connections. So like I said, you get to work with so many different people, different crews throughout your trips. And one of the things that I found that I really liked was the amount of connections that I made through working with the company. Not just flight attendants, because you also, converse and interact with the pilots as well. And like with my goal of becoming a pilot down the road, I like to ask them their approach that they took and how they got to becoming a pilot. And most of them are ex-military pilots. And they've I have 4 business cards from pilots that were ex-military that I got an email. I've been kind of slacking. And they said that they'll give me a letter of recommendation. So connections are huge. So that is the 6 pros. Let's go finish off with the 3 more cons. So some people prefer to live comfortably in their house. You got to kind of get used to living out of a suitcase because you're always on the go. You always have a suitcase packed, and there's not a point where I feel like there's like 2 or 3 days in between a week where I have off. And even then, I'm still like cleaning my clothes, packing my suitcase. So you got to get used to living out of a suitcase and be very flexible with scheduling. Another con would be with bigger airlines, you might be on reserve for like 5+ years. Now, I was lucky. I was only on reserve for 11 months out of the year I've been with the company. And let me tell you, reserve is not the best life at all. The pay is horrible. The schedule is horrible. You don't get any good trips. It's all the trips that no one wants. And the stress and anxiety that you get from like scheduling and calling and just being on call all the time, it's horrible. But if you utilize your time correctly, reserve isn't that bad. You can have a side hobby and work towards other goals. So that is con number 5. Number 6 is commuting. So it's kind of a pro and a con. It's a pro because you don't have to live in the city that you work out of, Boston. So you can literally commute from Florida to Boston to do your work week. But those hours that you're commuting to and from work, those aren't paid hours. So you're kind of missing out on a lot of time and money unless you have a side hobby and you utilize those hours to your advantage to make some money. So with that, guys, that's 6 pros, 6 cons. And basically what I really wanted to tell you guys was that applications are open for hiring, and they've opened up today, April 1st. And again, I will put down below when I'm done with this the link to go check it out and apply. If you have any questions, let me check out all these questions. All right. What's up, Jay? What's up, Joe? Julian, Philip, Chris, you're able to pick up trip if you're on call. So if you are you able to pick up a trip when you're on call? Not the day that you are on call. So say you have, so today's Monday. So say my reserve schedule started at 12 p.m. today. If I wanted to pick up a trip on my on-call days, I would have had to have bidded for a trip on Sunday before 12 p.m. And it goes by seniority as well. So you could bid for a trip the day before. And if you get the trip, then yes, it can cover 1, 2, 3, or even 4 days of your reserve block. But it's kind of tough because, like I said, it's seniority based. And I think within the 10 months or 11 months I was on reserve, I think once a month I was able to pick up a trip. But just by picking up that trip, it reduces that anxiety. And it's just, yeah, so you can. All right, let's see. Can you send a link so I can apply? I'm also a vet. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate your service. Yeah, I'm going to post a link down below. Just give me a few minutes. Chris, start April 10th. I'm nervous about being broke. Start saving now. And just be a little stingy with your money. You know, it's not permanent. It's not something that's going to like, it's not that you're going to be super broke. It's just a majority of your money is going to be going towards your bills. And if you can, live with your parents, you know, take some time, just live with your parents. Do they hire at 19? I think I saw somebody say it's 20. I think it's 20 years old that they hire. I hope to work for JetBlue because they inspire me to be a flight attendant. That'd be awesome, Joe. Good luck. Thanks for the subscription and your support, Amanda. I appreciate it. Minimum age is 20. Thank you, Jay. Thanks for clarifying that. So yeah, the minimum age is 20 years old. Current job is for bilingual Spanish, English, and they will test you in reading and speaking proficiency. So yeah, that's really all I wanted to do today, guys. I guess I'll update you on what's coming this next week. I'm going to probably post part 2 video tonight. And then the next like 6 or 7 days, I have military training. So not really. It's going to be, the video that I'm going to be posting about the military is going to be tryouts for sniper section. So it might be interesting to some of you. It might not be. We'll see. And tomorrow I actually fly down to Orlando for some training with JetBlue. So try and record as much as I can tomorrow, but I heard it's a really quick training block. So, all right, guys, if that's it for questions, I hope you all have a great day today. Happy Monday. I hope you all crush your week. And if you guys haven't, hit that like button. Help me out here. Help your boy out. I appreciate it. And share this video with some friends. And yeah, go follow my Instagram. All right, guys, take care.